Everybody, welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. I'm Jessica. In today's video, we're going to be doing another Foundation Friday. And on today's video, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Longwear Illuminating Foundation. That is a mouthful. So I did get it in the shade Fair, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure if my lighting will allow you to see how deep it actually looks in the bottle, but that's a concern. It is 0.95 fluid ounces, so it's not quite a full ounce. It's close, but not quite a full ounce. I did get this from Ulta. I can't remember the price tag. Hold on, let me bring up the website and we will talk about what the website says on this foundation. Okay, so on the website, it is listed for $10. I believe I paid less. It looked like the Ulta website had it for $9. So, I mean, definitely take a look and see if you can find, you know, a sale or something like that. The lightest shade in here is actually a pure white shade. I don't know if you can see that there. And then I did get the shade Fair, which I believe is the lightest shade after the pure white shade. Yeah, so there's a Fair and then there's a Porcelain. I'm not sure if Fair is yellow undertones and Porcelain is red undertones. That might be the case, but anyway, let's read the description. It says Pro.Coverage, which is what it says on here, Pro Coverage. High definition, long wear, illuminating liquid foundation is ideal for a flawless looking full coverage finish. Lightweight formula is comfortable for all day wear. Paraben free formula with added antioxidants helps hydrate and improve the skin's appearance. Now available to extend the color range even further, an innovative white foundation mixer to adjust and customize color. But you know, it doesn't go real deep either. So there's that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use this shade. I did not get the white shade to mix, and I just want to see how the Fair shade looks, to be honest with you. Before turning on the camera, I did spray my face with my Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist, and I did put on my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I use those in every one of my foundation reviews, and I will be using the same powder that I use in every foundation review as well. I will be using my Sigma F80 on my right side of my face, and I will be using my Beauty Blender on the left side of my face. So I did shake this up before starting the camera, but we're going to go ahead and shake it a little bit more. And then I'm going to start putting it on. So it looks like I did patch test this. I know I did. And it's definitely too dark, but we shall see how it works on my skin. So I do have some red on my face. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right. Yeah, that's really, really dark. So I'm not planning to leave my house today, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this foundation review today, because I could tell that it was going to be dark and I didn't want to be trying to wear this out and being like super pale on my neck and then yellow or orange on my face. So, all right, this is blending really, really easily. I will say this too. I got their concealer. That was a complete waste of money for me because it is way too dark. So, okay. So yeah, this is definitely not a shade that works for me on a regular basis, but it just looks like I tanned a little bit. I don't know. What's weird is that you can still see that red mark on my cheek where I'm getting a blemish. I'm trying to bring it down my neck a little bit to hide the fact that it's so dark, but okay. I put 2 pumps or 3 pumps on my hand and I did not use all of it. I'm going to go in with the Beauty Blender and see how it works on this side of my face. All right, I have just a tad left on my back of my hand. I am going to try to build that up right here, just where I have that blemish coming through. And I'm definitely looking a little orange. Definitely looking a little bit orange, but it's okay. We'll work with that. And that blemish just isn't covering, so I'm going to try to hit that with my concealer and see if I can get that to get covered up a little bit. Okay. So, first and foremost, I actually am really liking the finish, the shade aside. I am really liking the finish. It's looking nice and luminous, which is pretty, but it's not really covering up all my redness, which I don't like. So a little went a long way. I didn't need a whole lot of it, which is good. All right. It is definitely transferring. Now I'm going to give it a minute to dry down and before I powder it, but I probably will powder it. But I can see definitely in my mirror here that this blemish is still popping through. The little red mark I had on my lip is still coming through. It did a pretty good job on my chin covering that up, but it might just be this lighting too, to be honest with you, because the lighting makes it, you know, way brighter than it necessarily needs to be. So, all right, the time now is 9:46. We're going to call 10 o'clock the check-in time, so we'll go with 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock. I do wear my foundations for 8 hours, sometimes a little bit longer, very occasionally, sometimes shorter, but for the most part, it's 8 hours or a little bit longer that I will wear a foundation. So, all right. Definitely too yellow for me, but we're going to ignore the shade. Like I said, I'm going to be home most of the day. I do plan to go out tonight, but that'll be once my foundation review is finished, so that'll be okay as well. So, all right, we're going to, like I said, 10 o'clock check-in time. I will be back in just a few minutes as soon as I get the rest of my makeup on. All right, everybody, I am back. The time now is 10:06, so I was done with my face before 10 o'clock, but we're going to call it 10 o'clock. That's fine. All right, so on the rest of my face, I used the powders that I normally use. These are Physicians Formula. This is the Mineral Face Powder. This is the Mineral Correcting Powder. This one I use, it actually will lighten up a foundation a little bit, and then I'll just put a little bit of the face powder on top to tone it down, because I do get like a white cast almost when I use just the correcting powder. All right. And then I have the Balm Take Home the Bronze in Oliver on my cheeks. I have the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in Party on my cheeks. And then I have my Hourglass. This is the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. I dip into all three. I like the way that that highlighter looks dipping in all three. On my eyes, I am using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, then the ABH Soft Glam Palette. I have Tempera all over my lid, Burnt Orange in my crease, and then Dusty Rose all over the lid, Rose Pink on top of that, and then Mulberry on my outer corner and my lower lash line. I have this Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil in taupe in my brows. On my lashes, I have the Pure Fully Charged mascara. And on my lips, I have MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick on my lips. So, and then I did spray my face down with MAC Fix Plus in the lavender scent. I'm trying to look around to see if that is everything, and I believe that that is everything. So, all right, let's talk about this foundation. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in, and we can talk about it. All right, so like, what, a half an hour in, 20 minutes in, something like that. I think it looks really nice, honestly. I have no complaints about it. My chin is starting to crack just a little bit. That is standard for me. If you've ever seen any of my foundation reviews, you know that the area around my mouth is my biggest problem area on my entire face. And that it's staying true. Primarily just on my chin. I'm going to keep an eye on that though, and hopefully it doesn't get any worse throughout the day. I have a lot of texture on my chin and around my mouth. So that is typically the areas of my face that I have the most issues with. So I will just keep an eye on that throughout the day. Like I said, I have that little mark on my lip that is not covered by the foundation. The red mark on my cheek, I feel like the blush has sort of masked that a little bit. I think it looks pretty good in my forehead. It's just starting to get a little bit in my line. Not too bad, actually, at this point in wearing it. And I think it looks good on my cheeks. I think it looks good on my nose. Looking at my nose close up just to be sure. Yep, I think it looks pretty good on my nose. So the only area that I'm having any sort of issues with right now is just a little bit of cracking on my chin. Hopefully that doesn't get any worse throughout the day. Even on my upper lip, I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, that's where we're at. About 20 minutes in. I will check in at 2 o'clock and then again at 6 o'clock. Let's hope that it continues to look good. I will see you then. All right, y'all, it is midday. Let me grab my phone out of my pocket, show you what time it is. It is 2:32, so I'm just like a half an hour late for midday check-in. Not too bad. I have my mirror down here, but I'm going to show you close up. I'm sorry, I'm in my room at the window because it is raining really hard outside and it is super cold. I am filming this in May and it is like 50 degrees outside. It is very cold. Very unusual for us for May, but I'm going to show you my skin close up here. I'm going to show you my chin last because I'm very not super happy with the way my chin looks right now. In here. So I'm just not happy with the way the chin looks at all. I was looking in the mirror before I turned the camera on, and especially in here, like it looks like every single pore, it's just sitting in every single pore. And here's the cracking that I had earlier. I'm just really struggling with the way this is looking in the pores. Like even on my forehead, even foundations that I normally have issues with my chin on, my forehead usually looks pretty nice, but like right in here, like every single pore is showing up super like exposed in this foundation. I'm not quite sure why, but midday, I'm not loving the way this is looking. Unfortunately, primarily the chin. I think from further away, like you're about a foot away from me right now. I don't think it looks horrible when you're further away, but the closer and closer you get, the less good it looks. I guess the worse it looks. Anyway, we're gonna keep it on for another 3.5 to 4 hours, and I will let you guys know what it looks like after 6 o'clock. Bye. All right, y'all, it is the end of the evening. It is 6:21, so I'm a little bit late, a little bit past 8 hours. That's okay. So let's talk about the foundation. I just spent a couple of minutes looking in the mirror, and there's some things that I'm concerned about. Number one, I'm looking very dewy, which is fine. I mean, this is a illuminating foundation, and I do look dewy at this point in the day. It's been raining all day today, and it's been very, very cold, but it's been raining all day today. So there's definitely been a lot of moisture in the air, but I look very dewy. Beyond that, it doesn't look any different than it did midday. So a lot of foundations, as the day wears on, I will notice that it is just wearing away or cracking more, or excuse my voice. I've been feeling sick as the day's gone on too. So I've got a really bad headache right now and my throat is a little croaky. So let's just ignore that. But I've noticed a lot of foundations that I try out, as the day wears on, it looks worse and worse, especially if it's looking bad at lunchtime. I have other foundations that I've tried that looks way better at the end of the day than it did when I first put it on as well. So I've had them go both ways. This one looks exactly the same as it did at lunchtime. I'm not seeing any difference along my chin than what it looked at midday. I say lunchtime, but midday. It's not creased in my nose. I feel like it still looks really good on my nose. I feel like it looks the same on my forehead. It looks the same on my chin. The only difference between midday and now is that I look a little bit more oily. That's it. Overall, I think this foundation has held up really well. If you don't have as much texture on your face, you might really enjoy this. I just have a lot of texture on my chin. I just do. And, you know, it's definitely showing that texture. I don't feel like it's showing it more so than if I didn't have foundation on. I notice it a lot more because I spend so much time with no makeup on that I really notice when foundation is settling into my pores. But other people who don't know me as much probably would not even really notice it. So I notice it. I call it out in my foundation reviews, but for the most part, it's not horrible. And not many people are like right here either. You know what I mean? If you're at a normal distance, you know, most people wouldn't even notice. So it's not the best foundation I've ever worn. It's not the worst foundation I've ever worn. I will wear it again. I have a couple of mixers in my drawer. I have a white mixer from NYX, and I have a deepening mixture from NYX as well. Obviously, I wouldn't be using a deepening one, but I could definitely use the lightening one from NYX that I have in my drawer to lighten this up a little bit more. And I don't know that I would need too much, a little bit, but not too much to lighten it to my natural skin tone. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, please hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the little bell to notify you when I upload new videos. And if you have any comments, leave those in the comment section down below as well. I love to interact with you all. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next Epic Beauty Fail. Bye.